Today, we're diving into a super useful, but let's be honest, often misunderstood part of GST compliance. We're talking about Form GSTR-1A, which is basically your GST second chance. Let's break it down. You know the one I'm talking about. You've hit that submit button, you've filed your GSTR-1 for the month, you let out a huge sigh of relief, and then it hits you. That little voice in your head. Oh no, maybe you forgot an invoice, or you typed in the wrong amount for another one. That little bit of panic starts to creep in, right? Do you have to wait all the way until next month's return to fix it? Well, maybe not. And this is where the hero of our story comes into play, Form GSTR-1A. Seriously, the best way to think of it is as the official undo button that the GST portal gives you. It's your chance to make things right before you lock everything in. So what is it, really? The idea is actually pretty simple. GSTR-1A isn't a permanent form, it's just a temporary correction window. It opens up after you filed your GSTR-1, but, and this is the important part, before you file your big summary return, the GSTR-3B, for that exact same period. So what kind of magic can you work with it? Well, first off, you can add any invoices you totally forgot to report. Happens to the best of us. Second, you can fix mistakes on invoices you already filed. Now, the key thing to remember is this is only for the same tax period you just filed for. And the best part? Any changes you make here automatically flow into your GSTR-3B. Pretty neat, huh? It makes sure your summary is spot on. Now, here's a crucial point I need you to remember. Filing GSTR-1A is completely optional. It is not mandatory. Think of it like a tool in your toolbox that you only pull out when you need it. If your GSTR-1 was perfect, just ignore GSTR-1A and move right along. So it's this amazing optional tool, but it comes with a catch. It has a very specific and pretty limited window of opportunity. And when it comes to GSTR-1A, trust me, timing is everything. For all you monthly filers out there, the timeline is actually pretty straightforward. Let's say you file your GSTR-1 for August on September 10th. The GSTR-1A form becomes available to use starting on the 11th, or whenever you actually filed, whichever is later. You then have this open window to make your fixes, and that window slams shut the very second you file your GSTR-3B for August. Once that's in, the opportunity is gone for good. And what about those of you on the QRMP scheme filing quarterly? Hey, don't worry, the logic is exactly the same, just the dates are different. After you file that quarterly GSTR-1, the GSTR-1A becomes available from the 13th of the next month or your actual filing date. And just like the monthly folks, that window closes forever for that quarter the moment you filed that quarter's GSTR-3B. All right, now that we've got the what and the when, let's get into the most important part of this whole explainer, the critical do's and don'ts. These are the rules that will help you steer clear of some really common and, frankly, costly mistakes. Okay, let's kick things off with the most basic timing question. You've just filed your GSTR-3B, you're all done, and then you spot the error. Can you go back and use GSTR-1A to fix it? The answer to that is a hard no. The whole point of the form is to fix things before your final summary return. Once GSTR-3B is filed, that gate is shut and locked. Any corrections after that have to be done in a future GSTR-1. All right, next question. Let's say you're just being extra careful. You want to double check everything and just confirm it's all correct. Can you file a nil GSTR-1A just to show there are no changes? Nope, you can't do that either. The system literally won't let you. GSTR-1A is purely for making changes. If you don't have any new invoices to add or any mistakes to fix, you can't file it. No changes just means no action needed. Simple as that. Now, this one is a big point of confusion. Let's say you're working on your August GSTR-1A, but then you realize you made a mistake way back in your May return. Can you use this chance to fix that old error? Absolutely not. GSTR-1A is strictly firewalled. It only works for the current tax period. An August GSTR-1A can only touch the August GSTR-1. Any of those older mistakes have to be amended in a future GSTR-1, not here. So what if you file your GSTR-1A and then you find another mistake? As long as your GSTR-3B isn't filed yet, can you go back in and file a second GSTR-1A? Careful here. You only get one shot. For any single tax period, you can only file GSTR-1A once. So before you hit that submit button, Please double and triple check that you've caught everything, because there's no going back for a second try. Okay, after all those rules, let's talk about the single biggest, most common practical mistake that people make. It's a really simple action that can cause a major, major headache. So what is it? Here it is. The most common pitfall is this. You open GSTR-1A, you type in all your corrections, and you hit save, but you forget to actually file it. Later, when you go to file your GSTR-3B, the system will block you. It sees that saved data and it basically says, nope, you can't proceed until you deal with this GSTR-1A. Luckily, the solution is super simple. To get your GSTR-3B unblocked, you've got two choices. One, go back and formally file that saved GSTR-1A data. Or two, if you changed your mind, you have to go in and completely delete that saved data. You have to do one or the other. Okay, phew, we've covered a lot of ground. So let's wrap this all up by boiling everything down into a final, simple cheat sheet. These are the absolute key takeaways you've got to remember. Let's run through this real quick, rapid-fire style. Adding missed invoices for the same period? Yep, you can do that. Correcting mistakes in the same period? You bet. Amending invoices from a previous period? Nope. Filing it after your GSTR-3B is done? Absolutely not. A nil filing? No way. And filing it more than once for the same period? That's a definite no. This table right here is your new best friend. Look, GSTR-1A is a fantastic safety net. It's a powerful tool to have when you really need to make a correction. But that leaves us with one final thought. Now that you're an expert on how to fix a mistake, the bigger question is this. What's your strategy to get it right the first time around?